Ah, there we go. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, man? How are you, Josh? How's everybody doing? Man, this thing, I don't know why. At least once a week decides that, nope, today I'm not going to launch the correct YouTube stream. And I have to do some stuff like... But thankfully now I know what to do, but it's still annoying. I needed some tea. Last few times I was sub-chief, not much, but hey, we're alive. How about you, man? How are you doing? Happy with Rio? Man, that Rio memo lobby is wow. That's all I'm gonna say. It's quite something. Impressive to say the least. I'm not muted, right? Shouldn't be. My stream lagged about 40 seconds. Damn. Okay, let me see if I can see that now. Okay, I can see my levels if I keep my windows like this. Okay, perfect. I'm not muted. There we go. I can see both chats and I can see my levels, so I can verify if I'm muted or not. Streaming no game? Wait, did I forget to put the category on... crap. Twitch directory, search game, Final Fantasy 5 1992. This one. Okay, perfect. So now we have a category. There we go. Good. Well, that's why I always start a little earlier, so I have time to troubleshoot, see if everything is well, and so I get some time to talk to you guys. Okay, I'm doing fine. I had some stuff to do today, driving mom to the hospital to get meds and lab results. Then had lunch and nothing. Nice. I also had to take a family member to the hospital for some lab results and stuff, and we'll probably have to go again in 1 or 2 weeks for the final thingies, but yeah. It's been a very busy few days, not gonna lie. But hey, slowly but surely, things get done. Talking about things getting done. Hey!
Borvar just resubscribed for 2 months.
Thank you, Borvar.
2 month already. Looking forward for future content.
What? Where is my Toki alert though? What is that scam? Is that the stream elements or that's Twitch? I can't believe that. That should be Toki. The thank you sound is right, but that's not the Toki animation. Yeah, the thank you is fine. The issue is the alert itself. It should be Toki. Layers. Position and style. Settings. Subscriber. It's Toki on stream elements. So that's the Twitch thingy. Wait, I need to fix that though. Why is the Twitch alert different? Yeah, Twitch. Well, in the meanwhile, whatever Thank you very much, Porwa. I really appreciate it. In the meanwhile, I really need to see what's happening though. Alert box, edit, subscription. Oh, I need to edit them manually. No, this is not good. Use my Toki for everything. Yes. Wait, how it... No. This. Yes. Resub, yeah, change. I want my Toki. What? Preview alert. There. Okay, and this one? Yeah, save changes. Also, this one is a little too big. There. 35% seems to be the good percentage. 40. Yeah, let's just do 35 for everything. Okay. Save. A new subscriber also needs to be... Damn, guys. Well, this is good because now I know that people is missing out on... This is for Prime subs. So, no. For Prime subs, we are gonna use Toki. Save. For resubs. So, this is so weird. Huh. That's interesting. Well, I'll deal with this if I need to. What's up, Parwa? How are you doing, my man? We are about to start playing, guys. Just 1 minute. Such a good tea. Okay, hopefully the next time someone subs or renew the sub, the correct animation will play. But for now, let's get into playing some Final Fantasy V. So, if I'm doing this correctly, yes, you can see the game, perfect. But now I cannot see you because I move everything. Okay, good. Oh, there is like... How... There is like a 3 to 4 second delay between what I do and what is shown in the stream. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so what were we doing last week? What were we doing? Okay, we need to buy Phoenix Down, that's for sure. Was I... Oh, yeah, we needed to farm some money because we were poor. I remember now. So we came to this town. We had to skip also. Oh, yeah, in this town there is some very expensive stuff we need to buy. But I was broke, so... and we got here after getting the sub. Okay. As it is in IRL, yeah. Too close to home, man, too close to home. I hope they are weak to Titan, because they seem pretty weak. If I can one-shot them with Titan, that would be amazing. Yo, hello Asumaki, welcome. How you doing? Are they dead? No. So just like in real life, we're broke in game, so we need to farm some money. Thankfully, contrary to real life, this is a lot faster to farm. Just chilling? Nice. Man, the other day I saw something on Twitter, I was like, oh, I need to tell Asumaki to get me those. It was like this very little cute chibi Arona and Plana. Plana was holding a screwdriver and Arona was like in panic, and someone posted those when the server went into maintenance, and I was like, oh, I need those. I'm good. I'm eating good today. I had high quality fried tofu lunch. Nice. It pairs very well with miso sauce and grounded peanuts. That sounds delicious. Hey Sherlock, how have you been? Sorry couldn't join the stream, have been very busy with college. Hello Mikan, how you doing? Well, first and foremost, I'm happy to have you here today. I hope college is going well. Yeah, it's been fine. Nothing like too big happening. Did you see the announcement for Rio and Himari? I think that's the biggest thing in many ways that has happened. But yeah, it's like we say, no news better than bad news. So yeah, I don't have many news to share about myself, but it's better than having bad news to share, I guess. Today we are gonna be chilling a little bit in this game too. We have been chilling a lot with games lately. The other day we were chilling with Yakuza, just farming in there, getting to understand the business system. College has been fine. I moved on the next semester, though CGPA was kinda low. Damn. But hey, it's very rare. Like the people that has great starts at the beginning of college are very few in between. So don't worry, once you get into the rhythm of it and you like get into the mindset of how college works and stuff, you will be fine. I had a friend that had a very slow start, but once things clicked in his head, he went like super well and super fast. I think it just takes some adjustment time, you know? It's like everything in life is a process. And sometimes we need more time to adjust to certain processes. So don't worry too much. Don't like torture yourself. Just take it one step at a time, see where you can improve, and act on it, and you will be fine. My feed was flooded with Rio and Toki. I kinda wanted Toki to be broken as the Hina. Well, to be honest, Toki is probably the best freebie we have, period. She's super versatile. She's super good. Like, new players will enjoy having Toki a lot. Also, as a healer, she's pretty solid. I'm pretty happy with Toki as a freebie. Especially Rio L2D is spicy. Do you wanna know the story behind that L2D? Because I don't think it makes it any better. Because, oh my god, Rio lack of self-awareness is outstanding, is astonishing. That's the word, astonishing. Even though she thinks she has a minimum amount of self-awareness, but I think she doesn't. Her Momo talks are hilarious. I haven't read the Himari ones yet, but man, Rios are really freaking funny. She's been alone, cooped in a room, alone for too long. Yeah. For, like, man, Rio, I'm glad that she remains relatively innocent with some stuff. For example, when Sensei enters her room and she's saying certain things that sound very, very suspicious, and then Sensei is like super flustered, and she says like, why are you so, why is your face so red? And Sensei tells her, well, you were saying this stuff alone in your room, and she's like, I don't see any problem with that. So I'm happy that she's that dumb, but man, that could have gotten very raunchy very fast. No, I mean, the thing is ICBA going more into niche metas, so Toki being good in multiple roles is not good. It's not a good sign. I need her to shine for eternity. Oh, okay, yeah. That's a very valid criticism, and I had a very similar criticism when it came to Himari, for example. Because, let's be honest, freebies, with just very few rare exceptions of freebies are like true specialists and very good at one thing, for example Idol Mine and Aoba. But in general, freebies are very generalist, or they are a soft part option when you don't have the better option. Toki, however, I feel like for a jack of all trades, she has a very complete toolset with very good values, because many times when you have a toolbox style character, everything they do is very mediocre, okay? But Toki, I would say, is slightly above average on everything she does, which makes her a very good unit. She's obviously not excellent, but she is above average. For example, her CC at level 5 is 3 seconds. If you get both charges, goes up to 5.6 seconds, which is a pretty solid duration, especially when you add in all the buffs and stuff like that. Her healing has a pretty high multiplier. I don't remember off the top of my head right now, but it's pretty high. And the fact that she can cleanse multiple debuffs if she has multiple charges is pretty strong. She's the only character with the ability to cleanse more than one debuff. And she being able to deal, apparently, what looks like a fairly solid amount of damage makes her into a character that, if you're in a pinch, she can save you, or if you need just that one last blast, she can finish off the stuff. While I agree that she being a jack of all trades is not the best for her, I still think that Toki as it is a very good character, for a freebie especially. The way I see Rio is as a practical and logical thinker. I assume she doesn't know much about all these things. Also, as also pointed out by Himari, just look at Toki, she was under Ryo's command. Just look at Toki, how she was under Ryo's command. I don't understand that last part. Maybe I'm missing context here. So, you're saying that Toki's, Ryo's kid is one-dimensional because her mind is one-dimensional, and Toki, now that is not under Ryo's command, is not as one-dimensional, maybe? Toki cleanse is the biggest thing for me. No one gets it, but like Rumi, Chinatsu, or Mari, she can do it from the striker slot, which is big. Yes, Yes, no, I agree. I also was saying that her cleanse is not only very strong, but is very unique because she's the only one that can do multiple cleansing. She can get rid of more than one debuff, which is amazing. So yeah, no, I think Toki is excellent. And I think my first impressions were pretty fair, in general. Her CC will be good in lower difficulties and stuff like that. When Toki was working for Rio, she was cold and inexpressive. That changed when she joined the CNC. Well, she was always in the CNC though, even when working under Rio. That's why... When Toki and Neru fought, she told her that they were already connected. From what I'm understanding. Okay, we're fine, we don't need to heal. Oh, money. How much money we have? Okay, a little bit more. We need a little bit more money. But I don't know, man. I think Toki, I would have preferred her to be a little bit more focused on her support side, rather than having all of those tools in her kit. But I still think she's pretty solid, man. She was in CNC but worked specifically for Rio as her bodyguard. Yeah, that's true. You can't expect less from the perfect maid, no bias. For sure, Porwa, for sure. And welcome BJC, very true. How you doing, man? She's the perfect maid, no bias here. Yeah, I agree. Hey, I even say I'm also in the same group of you guys. I think Toki is the best maid. She's the best maid, she's the best bunny girl. And she's the best aviation pilot. Yes, Toki peace. Himari, oh man, talking about Himari now. What? No, best maid and best is Bunny is Asuna. I mean... Oh man, that's a dilemma though, because Asuna is... No, you... Here, I'll give you this, Josh. Asuna is the biggest maid and the biggest bunny. How about that? Well, Toki's the perfect and the biggest smile, yeah. Toki is the perfect bunny and the perfect maid. So Asuna could be the best. Best and perfect are not the same. Man, I need an Asuna in my life. That's wrong. Karin is the bigger one. I don't know. The numbers have changed a lot, yeah. It also says a lot for Kei and Aris, doubling them assuming they are rank 1 in skills. Placing Toki for 2 hours straight. Asen is always perfect in my eyes. I mean, that's fair. Wait. I always forget this thing. Okay, perfect. But... Okay, going back to the Himari topic though, guys, because this is important. Himari numbers, after seeing them at max level, she looks a lot better, but I'm still a little bit iffy on her. I said it in my first impressions, I don't know how many of you watched that. You have to look past those big personalities and see to see the truth. Karin is better. No. Okay. My favorite CNC member is Toki. Like, that's... Toki is in my top 5 characters. So Toki for me is the best CNC member. Second favorite CNC is Asuna, like by a mile. And I just really don't like Karin and Neru. I don't hate them, I'm just very indifferent to them. I don't know, man. You have to look past those. No, yeah, I don't know, man. It's what I like of like Toki. I like Toki's number 1. That is written in stone. Karin is second best. No, so okay. In the end, guys, it's a matter of taste. Okay, for me, I like Toki because I think she is the more interesting character with a very quirky and funny personality. She has moments, like serious moments and comedy moments. I've said it in the past, even though Hibiki is my favorite character, I think that design-wise, Toki is the prettiest character in Blue Archive. But number 2 in the CNC for me is Asuna because I really love her energy. She's like that super cheerful energy, always happy. Like she irradiates that joy she has, and I really like that. The way you have Toki and Asuna side by side is so conflicting. I don't know, man, because it's a matter of personalities. I like the chill vibe of Toki and funny and witty humor of Toki. And I really like that super cheerful, contagious energy that Asuna has. While Karin has a very flat personality and a little bit too much of a tsundere personality, and Neru is just Neru. I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of Neru. I would really like Karin and Akane energy with Toki, and with Toki Asuna is too bright. I almost forgot about Akane. Akane is probably third place. Akane is probably in third place. The thing is that, and I know some people will not like this, but I feel like besides Asuna and Toki, the CNC characters are very forgettable. I know, especially the Neru stans will not be happy about that, but I really feel like Akane, I forgot she existed, and Karin, if you don't mention Karin, I also forget about her. I only have Neru in my mind because she is very present in the CNC stuff, but I really feel like they are very forgettable. No way you said that about Karin? I mean, I'm just being honest, man. I'm really not trying to be rude, but it's not a character that... Look at this one, throwing heresy left and right. Come on! What do you mean? You should be with me in this, Josh. I'm saying that the Asuna and Toki are the non-forgettable characters of the CNC. And you're calling me heretic. What are you talking about here? Is, for example, Karin is a sniper, she lives in the shadows, she's the best at her job. Well, in theory, from what we've been led to believe, Mashiru's probably the best sniper in Kibotos. Toki debuted in GDD story was really good. Writing plot, conversations with her was unpredictable. She loves teasing Sensei but remains composed. Yeah. I don't know, man. If we're talking, I just don't know. Again, it's a matter of taste. Overall, her character design is very well balanced, so I love it. Yeah, I agree with you, Porwa. I agree with you. Toki is a very well-balanced character. So I don't know, man. It's a matter of taste. You may think otherwise, but for me, I don't know, man. When I think of the CNC, the first characters that come to mind are Toki and Asuna. No bias here. Yes, I am. And you guys know, I always try to be pretty fair. Even when Hibiki is my favorite character, I can admit that there are characters that look better or stuff like that. It's just... I don't know, it's just how I see things. I have a hard time having too many biases. I'm not saying that I'm always unbiased, I have biases. But if I'm having a conversation and trying to make a point of it, I try to leave them aside. You're making me regret not buying Bunny Asuna statue and selling my kidney in Akiba, right? No, I agree, Mashiro is the best. Story according to the lore, but she's rarely get to use those skills since Tsurugi and Hasumi take care of the problems. Well, we don't really know that, because you have to consider that the snipers are usually covering fire. So it's maybe they can do their job as well as they do because they have Mashiro covering fire. Might also be Miyu the best sniper. Well, according to what has been led to, like, according to the lore we have right now, and I'm not saying that I'm a lore master, but apparently Mashiro is the best sniper right now. The target's already being already covered by Hasumi's massive. So after glazing Toki, he cannot hold himself to find a way to complement Ako too. Okay, look. Miyu is a SRT student, she should be close. Yeah, in theory. The thing is that Miyu seems to be very good from what they have told us. Miyu is super good, especially because her presence, she hides her presence so well, and she's very mobile. She seems to be a super dedicated sniper, but because of her lack of confidence, she blunders from time to time. The targets are... oh yeah, that's true. Also, Neru is unforgettable in my opinion. Her interactions with Ryo and Seiya and such did a lot in my opinion. That's true, but I mean, again, as I said, for me, I feel like that, and I have admitted I'm not a fan of Neru and Karin in general, so that's why for me they are more forgettable. I will admit that her interactions with Seiya and Ryo were pretty funny and cool, but you have to consider that I'm also not a fan of Seiya, so her interactions with Seiya are also very not in my mind. All academies are a mixed bag of talents, but SRT are elites. Well, in theory, yes, but keep in mind that the Rabbit Squad in particular, they were not exactly the lead squad. The Fox Squad was the lead. They were the squad after them. No one in Kibotos would dare to spank Seiya's butt like Neru did in the victory pose, but I must take a bow for Neru on this one. Look at this, more heresy. As the time goes on, how unforgivable. I know Karin hasn't gotten that much light, but she's really great. Okay, look. I will say this. I think you're right. The issue with Karin is that she hasn't gotten enough spotlight. Maybe if we get to know more of Karin or see her more action for Karin, she would go up in ranks, but as I said, right now, as a matter of personal preference, Karin is not up there for me. Is, for example, the same with Kotori. I really like the engineering club, but I feel that Kotori is probably the character that comes to my mind the least of them. Hibiki obviously is my favorite character. Utaha, I think she's funny. Her personality is great. She's super cheerful but Kotori, for me, she's just noisy. Think of her as Iori but bigger. Well, that's an issue because Iori, she's too grumpy, and I'm not really a fan of Iori. I'm not a fan of grumpy characters, guys. You know that. Now, your secret waifu in the back room is always Ako. Ah, man. I think I will never leave that off. The engineering club can get you killed. Kotori will jump all day. Yeah. Very true. But hey. You know what? I'll be fine if they get me killed. Because Hibiki will be there. So they can get me killed any day, man. From the I think, talking about the Prefect team, I think my favorite character from that squad is Chinatsu. Yeah, Chinatsu. Yeah, minus the grumpy nature of Iori, Karin is ladylike. Yeah, Karin is a lot... I think Karin is a lot better of a character than Iori in that regard. She's very feminine. She's very educated. I say you mean Ako? No, Chinatsu. Ako would be second, to be completely honest with you. So it would be Chinatsu, Ako, Hina, Iori. I know, Hina fans will not be happy. Hey, Sherlock is far gone. Send help. Send Yuka. No, I didn't mean educated like that. I mean good manners. Good manners. She has good manners. How you say when a person has good manners? Good mannered? I think that's the word I was looking for. She's very... man. Because in Italian we say educazione, also to mean like, oh, buona educazione, like good manners. So that's why it well-mannered... Yeah, a person with good manners, you know, that behaves well, that is... How you say a person that has good manners? Because here we said educato. When someone has good manners is educato or educata. We usually said good melons. I would say well-mannered in English. Good-mannered or well-mannered is the most direct, yes. So many connections have been administered. Corrections. No, I'm explaining my confusion. Good melons or good peaches? Talking about good melons and peaches. No, okay, no, I will not make that joke. I will not make that joke. Okay, but we got sidetracked. We were talking about Himari's kid, come on. Himari's kid, okay. You can trust me, I'm pretty sure about it, okay. One thing I'm pretty curious about is Himari has a pretty huge effectiveness buff. I don't know if it's the highest effectiveness buff. Yeah, exactly. She feels like Yellow and White Kayoko. But yeah, being... Yeah, that's the issue. Pretty huge assets, I know. Bro, Himari was cooking. She had something in the oven for all this time. It was impressive what she was baking. The amount of comments about her baking skills have been very high. But okay. Nagisa has competition. Bro, Nagisa also was cooking. She was hiding the whole buffet. Hiding the whole buffet there, man. Wheelchair versus sitting on chair. That's true. Sitting girls seem to be good at baking. Who would have ever guessed? Nagisa sits down by choice. Himari is a natural. That's true. Even though that sounds a little bit cruel, but that's true. Diamond. We have one, okay. Magus. Do I need another one? No. Lumina. No. Diamond. No. Okay. So I needed the magic here. Was it the magic or the weapons? I don't remember. I think the magic was the thing I was missing here. Let me check the magic store. Did I get sidetracked again? I think I did. What I was talking now? The way we Princess carry Himari is just chef kiss. Oh, that's so adorable. That's so adorable, man. The new Himari, base Himari pickup animation is so adorable. And the Himari alt offering us a hug is... Oh man. That's why Himari is tied with Rio in my number 2 spot, man. That's so cute. But yeah, Himari has effectiveness, crit buff and the debuff, which is good. But here's the thing, her crit buff is pretty mediocre. It's just 15%. That is nothing. For a crit damage buff, that's nothing. If it was crit rate on the other hand, that would be pretty good, but crit damage at 15% is not amazing. But the effectiveness is cool. It's just that they come along with the effectiveness for free. Yeah, another case of Jack of all trades, Master of none. Yeah, that's the thing, that Himari... The issue with Himari is that she seems to be able to do a lot of stuff at a fairly good rate, but she is a special, and we only have 2 slots. Are we really going to play Himari instead of a super buffer? Because let's be real, okay? Who are you replacing to use Himari? Nowadays, the most used special that is not for utility is Kisaki. How many times Himari will be better than Kisaki? That is what we need to determine. I would say that considering that Himari has a pretty unique debuff, she also offers heals and effectiveness close to what Kisaki offers in EX damage, Himari could surpass Kisaki. How likely that is to become true, I'm not completely certain. So the effectiveness buff she offers is 76.3%, and the debuff she applies is where is it? The debuff she applies is 20.2%, so added up is 86.5. Kisaki gives, where is Kisaki? Kisaki gives 80.7%, so in theory, Himari could outperform Kisaki. In theory, it's not. Wait. When you think of it like that, Kisaki, I mean, Himari could actually outperform Kisaki because the net damage increase outperform isn't. Well, yeah, it's not exactly right, but you could say that the net damage increase on paper looks a little bit higher. And if you add all of the utility Himari adds, she could end up being slightly better than Kisaki in many places. Not everywhere, but in many places. Is that fair? Do you think that's fair to say? On top of Kisaki, Ryo has some okay-ish attack buff. That's why many people find the deploy rate of Himari decrease. Himari does not give EX buff. She gives penetration, piercing damage effectiveness, and applies a debuff to the enemies that have heavy armor that makes them take 20% more piercing damage. So in total, Himari is giving you like 90-something% extra piercing damage. Yeah, it's 96.5. That's what I remember, but why are you comparing her to Kisaki? Because Kisaki is the most used special as a hyper buffer. Because currently, Kisaki is the special that you pair for hyper buffing, whether you are using Ryo or Swimsuit Nagisa. The most common special we are using for hyper buffing is Kisaki. So when we are talking about replacing someone to run Himari, it's very likely to be Kisaki. Because we are not using Himari, for example, we are not using Ryo just for her attack buff, we are using her for her ability to Q skip. We are not using Nagisa for, I mean, her critical damage buff is stupidly good, but we are also using her for her ability to loan cost. So if we are removing a character, it's very likely to be the hyper buffer rather than the utility character. I really want Himari's unique item to add some unique debuff into her normal skill. For example, Kotama that can reduce boss attack, which helps a lot in TFS. Yeah, I think that would be great. I think that Himari needs, because her current normal skill is already a debuff, if I recall correctly, right? Himari, her current normal skill is already a debuff, which is not amazing. It's an evasion debuff. They are probably not giving her a unique item, she's still quite strong. Himari, in my opinion, is still one of the special queens. Especially when you're running, for example, Shiroko terror comps, you're not running Kisaki, you're running Himari. Like, no doubt. But I think she could use a little help right now. Because more and more, Himari is getting replaced by Kamhare, Kisaki. It's even though we have Swimsuit Seiya now, she's still not getting run as much as the combo of Kisaki plus Hare. But yeah, I think that Himari has potential. The thing is how we can realize that potential. Because the other thing to keep in mind is that the new Himari has elastic armor, if I recall correctly. Isn't that right? Yeah, she has elastic armor, so she will not have too many... How you say it? She shouldn't have too many weakness issues. If anything, she should be pretty good in all heavy armor raids. SUE versus Himari. I think Himari is better than SUE. Let me verify, but she should be better. SUE has never been a superstar, if we want to be honest here, guys. SUE, where is she? There she is. Ui is 70.1% for 45 seconds. She gives a pretty good AoE penetration efficiency buff. She has a lot of penetration though. I mean, a lot of buffs. Her normal skill is also a buff. I think the issue is with her cost being at 4. Yeah, in my opinion, I'm not making her buff more. On the other hand, her utility, she's not locked behind the hyper buffer category. So I should skip SUE now that Himari is here. To be completely honest with you, Mikan, I would say probably, but I don't want to say definitively, because as I said, SUE has never been a superstar, but she's still pretty solid. And man, it is so hard because Himari Battlesuit has such a strong competition. SUE always my go-to for Chokma Yellow Armor due to her reposition ability. Yes. SUE is fine, she's just hard to use. Yes, exactly. SUE is just a little bit tricky to use. So I don't know. The issue with Himari, as I said, is her competition. Competing for a special slot, she's fine, not a stellar. Yeah, exactly what I said. She's not a superstar, but she's good. She's good. She's just not a superstar. But man, new Himari looks so good, but being a freaking special is so hard. I mostly deploy SUE in Chokma and second phase Waka Boat. Yeah, that's very fair. Bike Himari is about 60% damage extra, about 200% to 278 multiplier, then the debuff, which is a 20% multiplier, if I'm understanding it correctly. Kisaki is 80%. Wait. So Himari is a lot better then. Because yes, basically, okay, so the issue with this new debuff, the effectiveness and resistance debuff, is very complicated, because from what I'm understanding, and I will have to conduct some testing on this, but it's like saying 20% of your damage is now true damage. Because decreasing the resistance of the enemy to the damage they are already weak to, on top, is so hard. It is really hard, because I don't know how it works, how it multiplies with the efficiency buffs we can apply. It's so tough. Because you're making the default effect, yes. Buff is 278. Yeah, but if the enemy, okay, let's say this, the enemy starts now at 220, right? Because you're increasing the effective damage. But that's the issue. I don't know if decreasing the resistance to the damage they are weak to is the same as saying your multiplier is 20% higher. But I don't know that. That's the issue, because if the boss already takes 200 damage, 200% damage, like how Gregorius work, but if the boss is taking 200% damage and you are making it 20% weaker, is it 220? Or is it 240? It should be 240, right? 240%, because it's 20%. And the 20% of 200 is 40%. So it should be 240, your base attack. Isn't that right? You're decreasing the resistance. No, but what I wanna know is, if the enemy that is already taking 200% damage now is 20% weaker to that damage they are already weak, that should be 240, right? It's 240% as base. It's not a flat plus 20, it's 20%, so it's 240. That is what makes it complicated. Because I don't know if it's multiplicative. Yeah, because I don't know if it's multiplicatively or additively. That's the thing. If it's and that changes everything, you know? Because now you have your characters doing 240 base and you increase their efficiency by 70%. So you go to 3. Oh my god. It's so much damage. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. But Himari makes it go to 278% to 336 is my understanding. Yeah, because it also depends. No, wait. No. So here's the thing, that its effectiveness, the debuff is attached to the boss for a 20% multiplier. Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't think that debuff adds up to the multiplier of the buff. So here is how I see it, okay? And I could be wrong on this, but here is how I see it. The buff we have, for example, you buff a character by 70%, okay? Just without doing like the exact math, we're just rounding it to the we're just rounding it to be simple, okay? We're just adding the numbers. So you give characters that 70%, so those characters will be hitting 270% instead of 200%, okay? Then Himari applies a 20% decrease resistance to that damage type. So what I think it happens is your character will hit the enemy with 270% force, but at the moment of the damage calculation, the damage will be increased by 40% because the enemy is 20% weaker to that damage type. So I think is a net increase of 40% damage. But it is so complicated. It is so freaking complicated. Or the other way it could be is that your damage now is 20% higher because they are 20% weaker to that damage. Because it depends on how our buffs interact with that debuff. That is what makes it so complicated. I need some water, 1 second guys. I don't know how that buff and that debuff interact together because we don't have anything like that in the game. It's treated as the second case. The boss damage taken going from 100 and 120%. Okay, so... Okay. Okay. That is still nuts, though. That is still nuts. So, in theory, Himari is giving us a net damage increase that is superior to that of Kisaki. In theory. Only against heavy armor enemies. Yeah, 60% isn't Kisaki 80, but it's... No, wait, how is it 60% though? Because she's giving us 70% as a buff and a 20% flat increase on the final calculation. How is that 60% though? Shouldn't it be higher? Because we're applying a higher base damage now. We're not only applying a higher base damage, but we are also getting a higher final damage. 68. And Kisaki is 80% EX. Yeah, but that is before the final calculation of damage though. Because Kisaki increases the multiplier of your EX by 80%. But that is before confronting it with the defenses and all the debuffs. So, raw damage, shouldn't Himari be higher raw damage? Am I being dumb here? Again, as I said, I could be totally wrong on this, that's why I'm asking. I'm not making any assessment, I'm asking you honestly, in case that wasn't clear enough. I don't know. If you say... If you say Kisaki gives more damage, I'm inclined to agree with you. Like, off the top of my head, it felt like that, but Kisaki is an 80% multiplier just on top. Himari, I'm treating as 200 to 70, 336. Huh. But okay, but if Kisaki is just an 80% multiplier, that means your final damage is multiplied by 0.8, right? So if you're doing all these numbers, holy, I need math just to know which character can do more for the team. I should have taken math major. Oh man. So, okay. So, if Kisaki is adding an 80% multiplier. So let's say we have a 10k hit, okay? But wait, 1.8. So if we have a 10k hits, okay, we're adding an 80% multiplier, so it's 0.8. Now you're doing 80k damage, right? I mean 18k. That is what basically Kisaki does. Yeah, okay. But Himari is taking that 10k, making it adding 7.8k, and adding a 20% a 20% extra damage to that final damage. So it shouldn't, no wait, it's 10k plus 7.8 plus 200. Shouldn't it be the same? 18k? Why though? Because you are getting... The base multiplier is 200%, yes? And it goes to 278. Yeah? Okay. Okay. So Himari X alone is 40% damage increase. So 14k would be. The 10k go up to 14k, and then you add 20% on top of that. Which could be... Okay, so it gets us to 16.8k in damage. Okay, yeah, I can see it. So it's basically 1.2k. Yeah. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, I get it now. It's not that big of a difference. Okay, wait. I appreciate the compliment, Porwa, but I wouldn't call myself a math expert. Especially because I haven't exercised my math skills in a long time. I understand math, but I don't have it in me to do all the calculations right now. I can go back to being able to, but right now it's not all in my head. I haven't... The brain is a muscle, you know, and I have not trained that muscle too much in terms of math. That's why I'm asking BJC, because he's more actively using his math muscles. Also, yeah, I'm not that familiar with BA formulas. Math is the vein of my existence. You know what? You feel like that right now, but if once you get that eureka moment where when things click in your head for math, you realize that math is not about being good or bad at it, it's just about understanding it. I think a lot of people get obsessed with, oh, I'm bad at math. No, you're not bad at math. You just need to understand it properly. Yeah, exactly. It's similar to what I was saying in the past about statistics. Everyone knows statistics, but nobody understands statistics. Having a 2% chance to obtain a result doesn't mean that if you try 100 times you will get 2 victories. You're still 98% likely to fail. So that's why I also feel like gacha rates are very misleading in that regard, because people tend to think, oh, It's 2% chance. In 100 pulls, I should get 2 characters. No. It's 98% of the time you will fail. Come on, it's not that likely. Or 66% scam. Well, you're still 94% likely to fail. That's what is painful. That I know when I stream my pulls and things go bad, I do a lot of theatrics. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm genuinely frustrated, but obviously I have to exaggerate a little bit. My emotions are those, but I exaggerate them so you can guys perceive what I'm feeling. But it's not like... Yeah, I agree, math can be logically thinking too, not just numbers, but you theorize and execute things. Exactly, I know enough to buy my groceries. So, you see Mikan. Yeah, that's good, it matters. That's good, it matters, you gotta know which has the cheaper cost per unit. Exactly. I'm down for the count, I have super early thing to do tomorrow. Thank you for being here, Josh. I hope you have a lot of Asuna dreams. And I'll see you on Friday, man. Have a good day, man. 6% is a scam, I got 3 spooks from 200 pulls. Well, yeah. Yeah. There is people that doesn't even know how to do groceries. So, knowing enough math to do your groceries and save money is very important. Also, for example, one thing that a lot of people overlooks is that sometimes a product looks cheaper, but if you see the price, for example, you're buying meat, okay? You see two trays of meat. One is 5 euros and the other one is 6 euros. But when you go read the quantity, even if they look the same, you may realize, no, they are not the same. One has 15 grams less, and it looks cheaper, but the price per kilo is higher, and you are paying less, but you are also getting less. So maybe the other one, you are getting 50 grams more, but the kilo is cheaper. You see? It's also an important skill to have. Like, yeah, in 3%, 3 in 200 is horrid. Okay, yeah. Yeah, exactly, man. So yeah, don't, and also, again, do not lock in your mind this I'm bad at math mentality. Do not let that be locked in your mind. Okay? No one is bad at math. No one is bad at math. Everyone can be good at math if you put enough time into understanding math. Math is just understanding it properly and taking the right steps. That's all there is to it, man. If you understand the process, you can do everything. It's just about understanding the processes. Okay. Charlotte giving more motivation than my math teacher. Look, someone told me once something that I think is one of the wisest things I ever heard. Teachers that are assholes to students are just frustrated people that couldn't do anything better with their lives and ended up being teachers. Also, it's very easy for teachers to pretend to know everything and to be super good at something if they have been repeating the same shit for 10 years. If I repeat every day the same stuff for 10, 20, 30 years of my life, obviously I will know it like the back of my hand and I will look like an expert. So teachers have a very easy job when it comes to pretending to be better than they are. And those that are assholes and that do not motivate the students and that make you feel like you're bad at it, they are just frustrated people with nothing better going for them in their lives, man. And I always said, I may not be able to give you the best advice of your life, but if you ever need advice or someone to listen to you guys, that's one of the advantages to have a small community. Compliment him more, Mikan. He might start dancing if we reach his threshold. No, there is no dancing. No dancing. Not today. I'm too broke to be dancing, man. Wait, what am I getting money for? I already have enough money, I think. Not today, so in the future? No. Such a... No! No dancing! I told you guys, my ability to dance are as good as those of a nail. I have zero flexibility. I have the rhythm of Wait. No, because whatever I say you will say, oh, it can have rhythm. No, I don't have any rhythm, guys. I don't have any rhythm. I cannot dance. Also, with the condition of my back, if I dance, I could end up very badly hurt. So no dancing. Especially pole dancing, that's not happening. Moving on. Now dancing for medical reasons, then yeah, man. I think I told you this in the past, guys, but my spine has basically zero shock absorption capability right now. Even running for me is not exactly friendly. I can run, but it's something that I should avoid. So you can get an idea of how badly messed is my back. I only can run in an emergency, to put it lightly, but I shouldn't run. That's how bad my back is. Okay, so what did we need to do now? I forgot. Oh, this way. Ouch, yeah. The branch! Sherlock can run from responsibilities now? Yeah. I have never run from responsibilities, man, but now more than ever I can't. You might be sad since you are a famous TikToker. I'm a famous TikToker? I didn't even know that about myself. Damn. Someone is capitalizing on me and I didn't even know. Accepting us? Ooh. That was intended as a joke, didn't mind. I know. But I don't know, man. I just go on impulse sometimes. Ooh, okay, this forest is gonna be a little bit of a pain to explore. But yeah, as I was saying, Mikan, don't worry. If your teacher is telling you you're bad at math, he can suck it. You're not bad at math, you just need to understand it. And once you do, he will eat your ass. Or she. I mean, you know what I mean. Not in the literal sense, in a figurative sense. Unable to dance to make you feel guilty. Now uploading new video in a while. 500k follows. Gonna cry. Oh no. I'm not giving anyone my ass. Figuratively, man. Figuratively. Also, that's a lie. Wait, no. Ah, man. Today is another of those days that whatever I said sounds worse than it needs to. I'm tiny! That's so cute! Look at that, it's... Tiny Lena. Sadly, that is a debuff, but that was so cute. Man. I had a call to me, see you on Friday. It was nice joining on stream. I'll try to join more. Have a good call, Mikan, and I hope to see you here more often. Hey, I may not be the biggest streamer, but I'm probably the best internet uncle. And that is all that matters. I'm very lost. This way? No. I'm very lost in this forest. Maybe I should have bought more potions and shit. Nah, maybe not. Maybe it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Wait. Ability? No. Ah. Ability. Do you have passages? Yes, you do. Okay, good. This way? That way. Which way? Ah! I'm really excited to start Elden Ring after we finish with this game. I've been wanting to play Elden Ring for such a long time, and for as much as I love this game, I'm super excited to play Elden Ring. And then we have Persona 5 and Silksong. We have so many good games lined up, guys. So many freaking good games. Elden Ring, you say? Yes. I know for a fact, Porwa, that you are an expert on Elden Ring. Elden Ring. I became the Hollow Knight. Maybe can become the Elden Lord. I will be the Hollow Elden Lord. That would be so cool. The Hollow Lord. You have dirty deeds to make my getting sleep late. Porwa. Man, your jokes always make me smile, man. No, I'm not an expert, and ER is not that hard of a game. I know for a fact that Porwa of the Earth Tree is an expert. And I know for a fact that there is a boss that I have never seen how it works, but is very famous for being super hard, called Millenia? Something like that. I heard she's a hottie, but that she's super hard to defeat. I'm super lost. Where the F I'm supposed to go? Yeah, she's notorious, but one step at a time. Yes. Like in everything, man, like in everything. We take it one step at a time. Oh wait, I have a tiny character. So we have something that cures tiness. Yes, Lucky Mallet. Why is his mana so low? Something has been draining my mana, I guess. That's interesting. We have enough potions to splurge a little bit here. Like all Souls games, throw yourself into trouble and having fun while finding a way out. Yes, exactly. That's what I loved about... what's the name? Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 is a game that once you understand how the game works, you realize it's not a hard game. You have to be patient, you have to be methodical, and you have to understand that if you're stupid, the game will punish you. And once that clicked in my mind, I enjoyed the game a lot. I remember everyone also having an interesting way on their own. Yeah, exactly. I played Dark Souls 1 completely blind. I didn't follow any build guides, I just went with my gut. I ended up with a build that was probably ass, but it got me to the end. I defeated Olstein and the other dude, and then I got to that cave and defeated the dude under the cave. You know, the one that king that you can parry the attacks and stuff. He was a very hard fight, but once I understood how he worked, I was parrying his attacks and killed him so easily. And it was just a matter of practice, understanding the fight, and doing things properly. As soon as I stop rushing, trying to do as much DPS as I can, the Black Knight, no, you know that dude, the real final boss of the game. The one that the serpent opens the gate and you go into this place and there is a lot of Black Knights and at the end there is this dude and with a big sword. Yes. Is that the dude? The real final boss. I don't remember the name. It's been too long, but once you understand how he works, it's not a hard fight. But it just takes time, it takes patience, it takes discipline, and that's all it takes. You have to be willing to fail, and you have to be willing to try again. Literally hot guy of Lordran. Yeah, you guys know I'm bad with names. I'm very bad with names. I think I have told you that story enough times, but I'm the worst with names. It pains me how bad I am with names. Cause he burned himself? Oh. I also remember doing a New Game Plus in Dark Souls 1. I never finished that playthrough in the New Game Plus, to be completely honest with you guys. I never did. Oh. Okay, so that was the way through. But the thing was that after defeating the game for the first time, during the New Game Plus, I realized that the fun of the game for me was in the discovery of and the challenge. And with the New Game Plus, I felt like the discovery element was not there anymore. And when it came to the challenge element, I was like, yeah, this is more challenging, the enemies hit harder. But I don't think it's the same kind of challenge that I was enjoying before. Also, I got to this DLC place that was a pain in the ass. I don't even remember the name. New Game Plus, pretty punishing. Punishes you really hard. 2 or 3 hits from mobs can take you down. Yeah, that. But also, I remember getting to a place of the DLC that was not very enjoyable. I was like, I'm not having fun with this. So I stopped. Because there is this song, right, that is like a mansion, and there is this ice, and these super stupid enemies, and these stairs that move from everywhere, and then at the end you get to this dragon that if you cut the tail, it gives you this special sword, but cutting the tail of it is super hard because he's always moving, and it was a pain in the ass. But after doing all of that, after getting through that zone, I realized this is not the challenge that I enjoyed. The discovery element is gone. This is me playing for the sake of playing because I like this game so much, but if I keep going like this, I will ruin the game for me, for myself. Because I'm not enjoying this part of the game. Where is the path though, man? I'm so confused. Let's try one of the throws. Nah. I'm so freaking confused right now. Let's do a scan. I wanna see what these bastards are weak to. Okay. Level 35, okay. Weak against flame. Huh. Yeah, plenty of people finds DS1 fun with its level design, but when you complete your blind, the first run, it's funny. Planning how far is the next bonfire, is there a shortcut nearby? Yeah, that's the thing, that the element of discovery dies after the first playthrough, and for me that was one of the most fun things of the game. So yeah, I feel like DS1 thrives when you don't know what's coming next to you. But once you play through the game once, and you know, okay, I'm going here, I'm gonna find this, there is these freaking pigs, there is these enemies, there is that, blah blah blah. You feel ready for everything after the first playthrough. DLC Dragon, Dark Eater, Calamite, I kinda guess, kinda hard back then, pretty easy now then. Yeah, it's... I don't remember the name. It was in a zone with these ice golems that were an annoyance. There was a lot of annoyances in that DLC, man. I think the DLC is probably the worst part of DS1. It's not a bad DLC. I enjoyed it to a certain point, but after a bit, after I cleared the DLC, I was like, okay, the base game is better. I enjoyed more the base game. I'm feeling so lost. Was I only supposed to get something here and then leave or something like that? I really don't understand what I'm doing. Is Ifrit effective here? Yeah. But the DLC serves like a challenge when people's getting good at the game, looking for an epic fight. No, yeah, I can see that. And as I said, I enjoyed the DLC, I completed it, but I was not enjoying it to the same level of the game. And after clearing everything, the New Game Plus felt a little bit meh. It lost its charm for me. The New Game Plus for me was not... It was not the new experience I was looking for. Is that fair to say? Now, I heard, and I don't know how many of you have played all the Souls games or stuff like that, but I heard that Elden Ring is pretty different to DS1. There are more systems and customization and items. It's a game that is a lot more complex in that regard. So if I'm coming straight up from DS1, it can get confusing, but I don't know anything about the game, so you need to confirm that for me, guys. I need more water. Ah, man. I forgot what I was supposed to do. Let me look it up before the stream time runs out. Year is easier and having more tools, but bosses are more challenging too. Okay. Okay, so we're in Moor Village, Moor Forest. Over to the east to the bridge. Okay, to enter the Moor Forest. With the Elder Branch in your possession approaching, a small gap opens. Go north, then east, where it looks like a passage. The passage ends. There is a tree with a notch hole. Oh. Don't worry. In ER you will find your way to have fun with it. Oh yeah, like for example in Code Vein, I also played that game blind. I didn't look any build guides or shit. I just went with my gut and we cleared the game. But do not have Dark Souls expectations. Oh yeah, don't worry. I know it's a Souls game, but it's not the same. And I like finding my own solutions and my own way through things, like I did in Dark Souls 1 and like I did in what's the freaking name? Code Vein. I like that. That's what I enjoy. So that's gonna be fine. I'm sure we're gonna have a lot of fun. Just play it like new release and completely blind. Yeah, that's my plan. I don't want to follow guides. As I said, one thing I love is the sense of discovery in games. That's why I don't look it up. This game I look up stuff because it's a game I have already played in the past. I don't think there is a point on getting stuck on shit. But because this game is very linear, so if I get stuck, there is nothing I can do. But in this case, in Souls games, that feeling of being stuck can be felt at any point. So it's just do not. It is more about do not get discouraged about not knowing what to do. It's just do something and you will eventually find what to do. Also, I hate following build guides for games like Elden Ring or that stuff, or Souls games in general, because that means that what I'm doing is not what I think is best, it is what someone told me to do, and at that point I didn't figure it out. I just took the idea of someone else and used that, and there is a time and a place for guides and stuff. For example, when I play Path of Exile, I use guides, I use build guides for Path of Exile. Path of Exile is an extremely complex game. Even though I have played so much of it, I'm still a complete noob on Path of Exile. I don't understand every little thing of that game. There is too much. It's a game with over 10 years of history. There is no way that I can come into the game and learn everything. And it's a game that is constantly evolving. So whatever I learn today, it may not be the same in 3 months. So I don't bother, I let the experts do the stuff and then I just have fun with it. But it's also a multiplayer game. Elden Ring is a single player game. And just following a guide will mean, oh, I'm not having my own journey. I'm doing the journey that someone else did. And that's not what I want to do. I want to have my journey through Elden Ring. I don't want to relive someone else's journey. That's why I don't want to look a build guide for Elden Ring and stuff like that. If I get like super stuck on something, I will look, okay, where I have to go here because I have no idea. I think that's fair, but the build will be mine. The boss fights, I don't want to watch guides, I want to figure it out, learn it. And you guys have seen me learn boss fights in Hollow Knight, in Code Vein. After a bit I get it. Sometimes I get it pretty fast, sometimes I don't. But it's part of the fun. Like Sin. I will assist you to explain systems and some guidance when you get lost. Thank you very much. Figure it out, how to deal with the struggle is the fun part of the game. Why let guides steal it from you? Exactly. It's the same with cheating. I don't know why people cheat in games. What's the fun on cheating? You're not achieving anything by cheating except making the game less fun. But hey, to each their own, I guess. How many ether I have? 26, okay. We don't lose anything from failed attempts, like in real life, unlike real life, which is costly. You know what? That is something that I'm trying to actually not believe in. I think that today society has created this fear of failure that is unhealthy. Failing is part of the process, and okay, so this is a very serious topic. This could get a little heavy, but I think it's an important topic because it's something that I'm battling with right now, and it has taken a big toll in my life. But I think it's important because maybe by saying this, someone that hears to this later can relate and maybe get something from themselves. But lately I've been struggling with fear. There has been many things that have triggered this fear in me to failure, and that fear has been paralyzing. I have been struggling to get things done in real life and to take chances on things that I should. And it's been pretty rough because it has prevented me from opportunities that could have been very important in my life. And it's not something that comes from one day to the next. It's something that boils over time and at a certain point it manifests in its worst possible state. But I've been dealing with this for some time. I'm still dealing with it. And the only thing that one can really do is actually throw yourself out there and do that thing you're fearing to do. And it's not easy. As I said, I'm struggling with it. There is still stuff that I cannot throw myself into, even though it would be for the best. But I think that part of the problem is that nowadays failure is pictured as something that is the end of the world. Failing though is not the end of the world, it's part of the process. Science, everything has advanced through trial and error. If we create a system in which failure is unacceptable and everything has to be perfect from the get-go, no one will ever try to do anything because they will be afraid of failing. And I don't think that's healthy. But as I said, the issue is that nowadays it seems that that is the world we live in. And it's creating this very unhealthy relationship between... How can I say it? It's a very unhealthy relationship between us and it's just an unhealthy state of mind. I think that's the best way to put it. Just no one wants to take a chance now. And maybe saying no one is generalizing a little bit too much, but I know a lot of people is now struggling to take chances because they are afraid of it. And someone said failure at young, not that bad, at least you can bounce back quickly. But that's the issue, it's not about how old you are. Failing is part of the learning process, and we never stop learning. No matter how old you are, you will always be learning. And that is something that it seems to be forgotten. I think there is a song that I love. And it says, you can surrender without a fight, but you can never ever win without a fight. So, what's the point of that? It's easy to give up before trying and just saying no, I can't, or no, like it may fail. It's very easy. But if you never give yourself a chance to fail, if you never give yourself a chance to fail, you will also never give yourself a chance to win. You see what I mean? Like, how can you fail? How can you ever win if you never give yourself the chance to fail? Like, also, like, in the end, failure, I think people calls themselves or other a failure too willy-nilly. I like that there is something I saw once. You can choose the pain of inaction or the pain of change. Yeah, exactly. And you have to keep in mind that I feel like the biggest failure. No, wait. That's. Let me rephrase that. I think that when you don't even try to do something, you cannot even say you have failed. Okay? Because failure is part of the process of trying. If you don't even try, I think that calling yourself or saying that you failed, you are doing a disservice to the people that actually tried and failed and gave their best in their attempt or attempts. Because in the end, by not doing anything, you're not even failing. You cannot even fail if you don't try. It is failure. It shouldn't be a state to be feared. It should be a state to be aware of, that we need to go through. But nowadays, we are living in a society in which failure is ridicule. Why should we ridicule failure? I feel like ridiculing failure has been one of the most corrosive things that has happened to our society. Because it makes people like me, and slowly but surely, brew this fear that becomes paralyzing. So if anyone is struggling with decision paralysis or fear, trust me, it's not easy. I'm working on it. I will get through it, and you will get through it too. But the first step for me and for everyone that is struggling with this is to accept that the portray that the world gives to failure is toxic, is stupid, and that failure is part of life, is part of everything we do. And if you cannot accept failure, you will never do anything. So do not be afraid of failing. And it's very rich coming from me again, as I said, because it's one of the fears that is paralyzing me. But again, the more I talk about it, the more I can also accept that fact and help myself through it. So yeah, it's do not let this construct of failure is bad dominate your mind. I know I need to do that, and I hope that whoever needs to listen to this will also do their best effort to do that. But that's all I'm gonna say about that for now. I don't want to sound preachy or go too much into the weeds of it. But I hope that if anyone needed to listen that, hey, you're not alone. We all go through this stuff. Okay, new topic, guys. New topic. Unless you want to add something to that, or there is something you wanna share or discuss, I'm all ears. But from my personal side, that's all of it. Cheers to that. To taking it one step at a time. Yes. And I will keep you updated, guys, as things improve in my life and try to move forward with many things. I will keep you updated. Not maybe with this specifically, but in more of a general sense. And you know, in the end, if things move forward for me, that means that I'm also moving forward with getting through this. Oh man, I don't know. Whenever I share that kind of stuff, I feel a little weird. I always fear oversharing or sounding preachy or stuff like that. I just wanted it to be a positive message, but I'm aware of the fact that I'm not the best communicator, especially when it comes to this kind of stuff. I try my best. I have tried to improve my speech. I think I have improved, but I know there is a lot of room for me to improve, and I hope whatever I say comes through the correct way. Thanks for sharing it with us. I will give it a thought and reflect myself. Hey, I'm happy to hear that. It's like when I told you, sometimes the only thing we can do is chin up and keep walking. That's what I'm trying to do now. Just chin up and keep walking. Sometimes it's harder though. Sometimes it gets pretty hard. I think the thoughts came through clear, if you ask me. I'm glad. I'm glad. Ooh. Huh? It's quaking. Fire? That bastard is burning the forest. Is X dead? What the X that setting the forest on fire? How do I escape from this place though? Aha. Okay. Okay. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Okay. I just chilled, huh? Interesting. Okay. This way? Yes. Kupo! I have some serious questions. Miso sauce for fried tofu, sweet or salty, which I love salty soy sauce. Kupo! Kupo, Kupo! Follow the Kupo! 1 second guys, I need to ban a freaking piece of shish. Okay. Let's wait for a while until the fire is out. Kupo! Kupo! I wanna cook it again. I can decide between those two. Well, usually fried tofu is savory wherever I've had it. I just like salty soy sauce better. Okie dokie, I love salty and spicy too. Perfect. It's empty. Oh no! The forest! It's completely gone! That's so sad! I think it's not the best time to use a fire attack, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Never had miso fried tofu though? Oh. I just don't like sweet things, so I pick salty. Me too, man, me too. I'm not a fan of sweets. Maybe that's why. Nah, I'm not gonna make that joke. But yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of sweets. The thing is that I don't know, guys. Maybe it is just me, but I feel like sweets have a pretty homogeneous flavor. I feel like the variety of flavors in sweet stuff is a lot lower than the variety of flavors you can get from salty stuff. Like at a certain point for me, all sweets taste the same. And I'm not saying it's... don't take it like in the literal sense, but you know what I mean. It's like... man, I don't know how to explain this, but... I just don't feel like sweets give me the same amount of flavor variety. I think that's the only way I can put it. Also, I don't want to get diabetes. But you know what also is totally over now, guys? The time of today's stream. Bro, I was watching the stream, but I was loading the laundry, lol. Sweet, no, sweetie, F, yeah. Didn't see the bot. Oh, don't worry, man, don't worry. I just regret that I took like 2 or 3 minutes to notice myself. It's fine. Like again, guys, you modding for me, it's already more than I could have ever asked for, guys. You're doing this as a favor. I cannot even pay you guys for your help. So the fact that you're modding for me means a lot. But guys, with that said, with all the different topics of today, the flavor topics, characters, preferences, life issues, and everything in between. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. And thanks everyone for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day or night. And I'll see you all this Friday for more Final Fantasy V. We are not that far off the end. So yeah, thank you everyone, and I'll see you all Friday. Bye bye.